better be swinging nuts and dick if you want me to watch the game. You feel me?
Because this is what y'all sound like.
I need that shit to be thick and veiny before I'm willing to root for you. You want me to buy your shirt and I don't know if you got it like that,
bro? You need to be packing, dog.
Bro, I need junk. I need junk in the front, bro. Right. Shout! Look at it. It came home, huh?
That's it. We gotta give props when props are due. The English women have done it. They've won the Euros.
They did what the men refused to do.
They were like, no, we want to consistently underachieve.
What if we lost to a team that doesn't qualify for the World Cup 2 years in a row? What if we did that?
No, look at this, man. The England women win the Euros. An impressive tournament.
Yeah, in big fashion, too.
That's right. I mean, they got a little scary there for, the Germany scored in the 80th minute, 79th minute, and
Germany got a great squad. They got the Ingrid Engine who plays for Barca. Was Oberdorf? I don't know how to pronounce her name.
I don't know how to say it.
She's also incredible. Great players. But the English ladies were like, what if we just won real quick? Do you think that,
well, no,
especially since the largest attendance for a final in England,
right,
in its history,
and also Germany has never lost in the German women have never lost in a Euro final.
That's because they don't play the Americans, bro.
I mean, also, you know what? The one thing I was thinking about when it came to watching these Euros is just like how exciting the Euros are versus, especially the women's Euros versus the CONCACAF Women's Championship, right? It's just
because they're training sessions for the women's national team.
The
bro.
parity is just a lot more even,
right?
In Europe, and which is great to see that there's more countries investing in women's soccer.
Absolutely, it's beautiful to see, and also it goes to show that teams are starting to catch up to the level that the women's national team here in the U.S. have set. Because you're seeing some teams out there that are like, oh, they could give the U.S. women's national team, especially now that we're kind of in a bit of a transition. You know what I mean? Some of that older guard is starting to retire or maybe will not be playing in the next year or two. It's starting to be a little bit like, oh, wow, okay. You know what I mean? They might be doing some business out there. But if the U.S. women's national team were invited to the Euros, which will never happen, we would dust all y'all, bro. Dust them.
It would, at least it shows. You saw what England did to Sweden.
We would bring crock pots because y'all are getting cooked, boy.
Wow.
Yeah, plug it in with your weird plugs, England. Damn. With your big ass plugs.
Not the air fryer. Oh, shit.
Wait 75 minutes for nice crispy lionesses wings. 7 because that's all fit in the tray. You don't want to crowd them.
So, but you saw what England did to Sweden, and there's this England squad is. Look, I'm not gonna say that they're better than the U.S.
Right.
But they are. What the last time the U.S. played England and Alex Morgan did the
little sip on
celebration.
Tea.
I think this is a very different.
It is
England team.
Which is why I'm saying I think they can compete a little bit.
Look, it's hard to say exactly from either technical perspective or from a mentality perspective how much more they are improved or how much closer they are to the U.S. But the players like Fran Kirby, Chloe Kelly, Ellen White, who's a little bit older, but there's just a certain
Williamson,
level,
bro.
There's a swag that I think we're not used to seeing.
Also, I think it's like, remember like back in the day, you'd be like, maybe like 2 years ago, you'd say like, oh, these 3 players are incredibly good. And then you've got a bunch of really, really good players.
Yeah. Now
it seems like the list of incredibly good players has grown. And part of it, I think, is also that the women's it's not called the Women's Premier League, the
Women's Super League.
The Women's Super League, WSL has gotten a lot better, and also the NWSL just continues to grow, and that is just lifting kind of the way MLS has lifted the level of the average player sort of in this hemisphere, or at least Central America and North America. I think the NWSL has done the same thing. Like just watching Rachel Daly, I'm like, yo, vibes. You know what I mean?
She's an absolute baller. When we went to the Everton women's
Everton
match,
ladies,
but
yeah.
they were playing a second division.
Durham.
Right?
Yeah.
They might be second or third division. I don't remember. But
It was a cup match.
Yeah, we've been to enough NWSL games when you can easily see the
level's different.
The level is very
Yeah.
different, and maybe it was just because they were playing a second division team.
Yeah, and I don't think their starters were all starting either.
Yeah.
Some of their starters came in the second half. It was a lower level cup game, so like one of the earlier cup
But what's
matches.
happening at the very least is that it seems like the Women's Super League and the NWSL is providing, England's team. Their first 11 were great, but then they also have another similar to the U.S. where they almost have like another.
Their bench could do numbers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
here's what I want to say. Now that it's been how many years since the men won an international competition?
66.
1966 was the World Cup win. Mm-hmm. It's been a while.
Been a minute.
Been about 2 generations, can we say?
Sure.
Right? We're on Gen Z now, bro.
Your mom still wasn't answering the phone. She wasn't returning calls even then.
Your mother's calling Christian with one of them old joints. You know what I'm talking about? She was like, "Hello, operator. Can I have H1 Dominican?"
That's a whole other thing to hear. Yeah.
Surely. Clip. Wah, wah. Is someone playing Frogger in the background?
Boom, I got to get the Frogger noise.
Yeah.
Little Pac-Man. Wow.
So stupid. You just went bloop, 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 bloop. Anyway.
Okay.
Well, ridiculousness. It's been a long time since England has won a major international competition. So here's what I say. I'm a little tired of the fact that they call them the light. Oh, okay.
Guinness just.
The dog was like, I don't like where this light is real quick.
We should get the dogs on the show more often.
Yeah. I mean, they try,
Yeah.
They're helping. They're our tech team.
Lando, come through.
Easy. Turns out I'm a little allergic to Lando's saliva because I was making out with the dog. He licked my hand.
The way you find that out is not.
I got bumps all over my asshole.
It might break a couple laws in certain states.
He licked my hand, and I must have done this. And next thing I know, my eyes are itchy as shit. I had to wash them out. But here's what I'm saying. Okay, the men's team has been a while since they won. The women won. Why do we give them an extra name? Why are they the Lionesses? Nah, man. I think they should be the England national team, and we should come up with a different name for the men's.
the
Blingland, bro.
Blingland, yeah. Sure.
You're the Blingland national team, bro. It actually sounds too ballsy.
It's too kind of a name. So this has been a lot of the discourse. And I've even seen this in some group chats I might be a part of. There's a when it comes to whatever not even misogyny, just being dismissive of women's success or women's success in football. We've had countless female players on the show, and these are we don't differentiate between a male footballer and a female footballer. It's just like we're here to support the game. And I would say overall, it's a little, and maybe this is just a bubble that we have put ourselves in in social media.
It's possible.
It's a little bit rare or more rare over time to see the outright disrespect of women's soccer. Like 100%
it's
exists.
less and less because I also think it's just people realize at the end of the day, like if you love the sport, it's just a fun game to watch. Like why do you care what's between the legs of the people that are kicking the ball?
I do not care.
Do you care? Be like, I don't know, man. I don't think he got it like that, bro. I can't watch.
I
this
prefer
team.
my footballers to have something there between their legs.
Bro,
I'm very obsessed.
You
with
better
this.
be swinging nuts and dick if you want me to watch the game. You feel me?
Because this is what y'all sound like.
I need that shit to be thick and veiny before I'm willing to root for you. You want me to buy your shirt and I don't know if you got it like that,
bro? You need to be packing, dog.
Bro, I need junk. I need junk in the front, bro. If I'm gonna watch your game, what you got, titties? I can't focus on the game now.
The least you could do is have a massive wang,
right?
okay?
You gotta be swanging, bro. I need you to emasculate me if I'm gonna watch the sport.
I need it to cast a shadow on me.
100%. I need me to consider you needing an extra shin guard. You know what I mean? mean? I need you to have a third shin guard if I'm gonna watch.
So what we're seeing less of that.
It's ridiculous, is what y'all sound like.
But it's when the U.S. And this is credit to the U.S. women, the 99ers, all the even teams before that have been at the forefront of fighting against that just either misogyny or just dismissiveness or just disrespect. And this is the opportunity.
Crimson Pizza said, all hooligans are size queens.
But what this has done, and I think you saw a lot of the English players talking about this in their post game interviews. I think it was Williamson who said. After the game, she's saying like, watch, get tickets to the WSL games, go support Ian Wright. When the English women got to the final,
right? He had great clip.
He had he mentioned,
but he's always been a supporter of the women's game,
right? But he's basically saying like it's what it feels like is that that England is definitely, it feels like at least 10, 15 years behind the U.S. when it comes to just how people view women in the game.
I think it's also difficult to say that specifically. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah,
I just think it's difficult to say that because we also have so many more people. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So like the women's team can go on a sellout tour of multiple stadiums, and you probably still have the same amount of men saying like, I don't want to watch it because they don't have big enough dicks, and that's what I need, dude.
It's typical bro.
Yo, I just need a big fat head, dude, with a little bit of pre-cum on it.
Who's gay? What are you talking about?
Why, dude? It's a sport we're talking about. This is men playing it, dude.
I don't say that to talk about like how many tickets they sell or whatever. But Ian Wright's clip, he had mentioned, football should be accessible to women in schools.
Yes.
Just even that.
Did you know that they're not allowed to play? I might be getting this wrong. But because that clip, he specifically said they should be allowed to play like in whatever their like recess or gym class is.
Yeah.
The girls aren't allowed to play football.
Is insane.
It sounds like you're talking about the 1800s.
Because
what? They'll break their hymens. That's what it sounds like. I was saying.
It's so if he's complaining about that and he's making that statement, I mean, it does. We don't live there, so we don't know exactly what's going on day to day. But when you see the comments under that clip, it's people are being dismissive of him, of like, why? What are you complaining about? And then you have the dumb like, they belong in the kitchen, blah blah blah.
Right.
And so that's where I feel like we're at least ahead, where there's a reverence, there's a respect for the U.S. Women's National Team and what they've done. Has it trickled down to the leagues themselves? Like, NWSL, they don't sell out every game, but you see. Look at Angel City. Look at San Diego. I mean, look at these two expansion teams that they've been selling out games. The Angel City OL Reign game last week was bananas.
Dude. There's moments where you're starting to see the support not only like shine but grow, and I think Thorns was a good example of that when they first came in. It almost reminded me of when Seattle first came into the MLS. Where you're like, oh, this isn't like this isn't a niche thing anymore. It's starting to get to that point where it bubbles over. I think this is where we're at. So the question that I pose is this enough? Do you think this is enough for Europe, not just England, but Europe, to start respecting the women's game more? Dude, we're seeing some big numbers out of the Barca ladies team.
That too. But I would say I think England is the furthest behind when it comes to accepting that women also play the sport and that the sport.
I don't know who, because I have a feeling Albania might not be at the front of the list. You feel me?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
But look, yes, obviously, as far as we all accept the Premier League is the top league in the world,
sure,
and so has the most attention when it comes to the game, and so the country that should permeate through women's sports as well. So just like it's a work in progress, of course, but at least the thing when NWSL posts a clip, or you see, or even whatever, Bleacher Report or somebody posts a clip from a women's game, and usually it's like the comments are less and less. Not a sport, or you know, I don't watch this. Who watches this?
Right.
You know, it's just you see it here and there, but it's just less and less. But if it's you know, in England or Women's Super League clip or whatever, there's more English people. Those people are louder.
Right.
That's where I think we've progressed a little bit. It's not ideal or perfect.
We ain't there yet, but we on our way.
Right. So I just think that the England women specifically winning the Euros, I think can do
also at a point where the men are doing well but haven't won anything yet.
Sure.
I think that's important. I think if the men had won and the women had won, there would be less attention on the women's game.
Sure. Oh, maybe. I mean, that shouldn't be the case, right?
No. But I think it just happens to work out so that there's more attention being put on the women's
look,
game.
if England is going to be, you know, if we deal with all the comments of like, you know, it's called football, not soccer. You want to be these people that are on your high horse, and this is where the best version of the game is played. Which I don't agree with, but if that's what you want to be and feel, then you have to respect the women's game as well and uplift the game. And it's not even about actively uplifting them, right? But then it's also then why constantly tear it down? Like maybe it takes too much effort to maybe watch or go get tickets or whatever or go. But why? What's the necessity of saying it's inferior or bad or blah blah blah? Because it hurts. You know, obviously it hurts the players you're insulting, but it hurts people around you. There's no way that a friend or a daughter or family member can see you behave that way and not think like, and also not believe that like, oh, maybe this person's right. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this.
Right.
Stuff like that or whatever.
I agree.
Yeah.